DPDers. I have finished the front. The front is down. So you see it's down on the ground. The wheels are back on. And now I have the back end up. And the wheels and tires taken off. So the back is up on the car. And now I'm going to begin work on the rear suspension. So, couple things. You know, when I was taking off the wheels, you know, you got to be careful. Those nuts, those lug nuts, as tough as they've got to be, because they're extra, you know, pretty, they're all chromed out or whatever they are, stainless steel or whatever, they're easy to bend, so I bent one. Bent the cap of it as I was taking the rear tire off. So I'm going to go and buy another one of those and get that replaced. I'll just go to the dealer and get it. I'm sure it's like $50 for one. I'm sure it's not that much, but it's not going to be $3. So anyway, so I'll be doing that, you know, in the meantime as I'm working on the rear. Got a lot to do here. Got new shocks going on. Got new rear links going on. Some couple other suspension bushings and so forth. So we can solidify the rear just like we're solidifying the front. And especially around managing the wheel hop issue. If I understand, the stuff that I've got should basically cure the wheel hop issue for the 2015 Mustang GT. So just get back after it. I just want to give you an update. Keep it moving. Hey DPDers, back at it again. As you know, we had lifted the rear, and what we've done is we've removed the old sway bar. We've installed a new sway bar with the end links, new end links. We are now going to tackle the shocks, and I've got new springs, but I'm thinking that I'm going to have a professional do the springs. I'm going to have someone else do springs and bushings. I don't want to take on that responsibility. But I also have a couple other things. Also, oh yeah, on the vertical links and new support mounts for the shocks as well. So, and then I've got some camber adjustment stuff that I'm also going to have a professional install. So I'm going to have a professional do springs, bushings, and the camber adjustment for the rear. And then I'm going to do the rest. The shocks, alright, the sway bar and end links are in, and then the vertical link. So things are moving forward here. This should certainly help with the wheel hop issues. And we're just about done with the suspension pieces for this car. Alright DPDers, I've got the shock is off the car now, and also the the vertical links are off the car. They're sitting over here on the ground. So I'm about to install the new shocks, rear shocks, and new vertical links in the car. So the springs are over here. They're just sitting over here right now. These are the old front shocks that I took out. But so I have the car supported here as I'm as you're taking off the vertical link, they tell you to go ahead and support the car with a jack so that that length remains the same, so it's easier for you to install, reinstall the new vertical links there. So that's why the jack is up underneath the knuckle, the rear knuckle. So after I install this, then I'll go and tighten down the sway bar, and the rear, as far as I'm concerned, is done. Once I do both sides, the rear is done, and then I need to take it to an alignment shop, get the springs replaced, get the bushings installed, and have the whole thing aligned and front and back, and everything tightened down, torqued down, and this thing's ready to go. This thing's ready to go. So check in a little bit. Alright, DP dear, so we're working on the rear shocks, and I've got it here in my hand. I put it together, and I put on the old shock cover boot and the bump stop, cut that in half, put that on here, mount the new mounts, aluminum billet mounts. They're going to go on top of this thing, and I'm about to put it inside the vehicle. About to put this on here, and then I'll tighten up the end links that connect up to the sway bar. You can see they're on the tightest setting, the hardest setting for the sway bar. And then I'll go and do the exact same process on the other side of the car, and then I will finish up by tightening the sway bar to the chassis, and then I will be done with the rear suspension parts that I want to do. So again, I don't think I'm going to do the bushings. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll feel confident in doing that, but right now I'm not so sure. So just going to keep it going here. Alright, so we got the shock in. Shock is mounted, end link is tightened, and we're going to move over to the other side of the car now. So keep it moving. Alright everybody, so we've got the right side now done. Passenger side done. The shocks are in. The vertical link is in. And now I got it, and the end links are tightened down onto the sway bar. So now all I got to do is tighten the sway bar to the chassis. And I'm virtually done here with the rear end. I may change my mind and try a few bushings, but I'm not so sure. We'll see. Hi DP dear, so we're done with the rear end. So the rear tire on the passenger side is on, and I am about to install the rear tire on the driver's side. So we're done. We're done with the rear end. We're done. So we're going to lower the car, and we're ready to take it to a alignment shop. So we keep pushing forward. Hope you are too. Alright DP dear, so the car is down. It is down on the ground, and it's looking So we got the suspension done, and what we really need to do now is take it to an alignment shop, get everything, make sure everything's torqued down perfectly, make sure everything's tight, make sure everything's aligned, get a couple more things done that I'm not prepared to do, like the rear springs and the bushings, and we're done with the setup of this car. This car is completely done. Its setup is done, and so really excited about that. Then we'll just need to start focusing on the inside. So be working on the cage, be working on the seats, steering wheel, safety devices on the inside, fire extinguisher, so forth. And then we're very close. We're so close. We're so close. We're close now. We're over halfway through. We're over halfway done, and there's a little bit more to do. But we're so close, and this car will be hitting a racetrack officially as a race car very, very soon. So as I've been telling all of you, I hope you guys are wrenching on your cars just like I am. I hope these videos are inspiring to you to believe that you can turn your favorite sports car. Mine happened to be this Mustang, this S550 version of the Mustang. I thought it was the best one and a great car to start with and to build a race car off of. But you may be a believer in Mopar or a believer in GM and so forth. So there's nothing wrong with that either. So we are going to keep pushing, and I hope to see you guys out there on the racetrack eventually. But right now we still got a few more things we got to do here on this car. So we're not there yet, but we're getting there. We're over halfway there. I'm not quite seeing the finish line of this project yet, but we're over halfway through this race. So take care, everybody.